Well, this is just a little gadget I put together to get the fuel out of my tank because I have to drop it for the second time. Something is clogging up, I believe, the fuel filter or the fuel pump filter, or possibly the line from the inline fuel filter back to the tank. Either way, the tank's got to come down again so I can investigate that. I thought it was clear when I first put the tank in, but we're having difficulties. So what we have is just a 12-volt auto pump and a battery. And we'll just let her run until I fill up the tank, and I'll swap out the tank. I'm running it through a filter before it hits the pump, so hopefully any impurities in the tank, which shouldn't be there because I cleaned the heck out of it, anyway, hopefully they get pulled out before it gets into this plastic tank. We'll be back. Well, this is the initial setup on how to remove the tank on an extreme budget. Got my floor jack with the board on top of it. Then I've got some stacks of wood on either side of it on the outside of the straps. Hopefully you can see the straps on the tank. So it's not to support it right off the bat, but as I disconnect the straps, I'll have the floor jack up against it. Basically like that. And then I'll get the straps out of the way, and then I'll lower the floor jack just so it rests, the tank rests on the stacks of wood. At which point that'll give me time to disconnect the lines so it doesn't damage them any further. And then I can raise it back up, pull a little bit of wood out, and lower it as I need to, or take it all the way out. That's how I'm going to do it. For those that may be interested, when you do lower it, you have to lower it at an angle down to the right side so it clears the frame at the top. And the reason for this, I'm going to walk over and show you. You have to get this nozzle out from over the top of this frame, and right now I just have to give it a little bit of push to the right as you're looking from the rear, and then lower it, and we should be good to go. And then at that point we should have enough access to reach in and disconnect the fuel lines. If you try to lower it all the way down, well, the fuel lines are still attached. Well, you're going to damage them. Those fuel lines are not going to hold the weight of that tank. They'll bend, crimp, and you'll be replacing them. So it's a bit of a chore, but eventually, if you take your time, you can make it happen. And here it is, out the second time. I think probably the fuel tank is good. It's probably the line. So I've got to go up there and push some alcohol through. It's the feed line, is my belief, as everything falls on me. Which is right here. And I might as well, no, I'm sorry, this is the feed line right here. This is the return. I probably should disconnect it up front and blow it out too, just to make sure, since I'm in at this point again for the second time. So one for the feed line, one purge for the return. This is just probably the evap. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to pop the fuel pump out just to double check that's okay. I don't know why this thing is with me. There we go. Anyway, while I got it out, and we'll just pop the fuel pump up just to double check The sock that's attached is a filter at the bottom. Make sure it's not clogged up, and just double check there's no major residue on the interior. I doubt there is, but let's take a look and we'll find out. All right, got it opened up. First thing right off the bat, this O-ring. It was not this large when I put it on, so obviously some reaction with the fuel is making it stretch. I don't know. I'm not too happy with that at all, so I've got to pull this out and definitely get another O-ring, one that fits snugly. And inside the tank, once again, a little bit of rust. I didn't think it was severe. I did note a little bit of moisture in the bottom, but it wasn't like there was a puddle or pools of water or anything like that. You could just see the little bit of moisture glistening. I've wiped it down. I think what I'm going to do is flush it again with my ammonia Dawn mix, and then after that I'm going to put that evapor rust in it, let it sit overnight, then flush that out, and then probably wipe it down with acetone or that 99% alcohol. At that point, of course, I'll close it right up, make sure no more moisture or whatever else gets in there. Of course, I can't see what the top looks like. Check with the camera. I don't know what I can see here. What I can't see, I should say. I have to wait till I get it on the computer and see if there's anything significant. No, Alright, I'm sure that was pretty disorientating, but I'll get it on the computer and let's see what we got on the inside.